If you're looking for a game that you can sink a lot of time in, you'll often find yourself hunting for a role-playing game. These come in a variety of flavors, each focusing on a different aspect of the genre. No matter the specific flavor, any RPG will usually promise a rich world with unending lore and at least a smidgen of an interesting story. In this video, we have carefully selected the very best RPGs that don't require an internet connection, and we start with Dungeon Quest. This is a classic isometric hack-and-slash RPG where the main point is to kill monsters and gather epic loot so that you can kill more monsters. We have 3 hero classes to pick from: Warrior, Mage and Rogue. Yeah, it sounds Diablo-esque, and really the game does feel like it drew some inspiration from the Diablo series. For example, every time you level up, you get stat points to spend on physical attributes, but also skill points to unlock and upgrade various unique skills. With the many weapons in the game, you can definitely make your own focused builds over multiple characters. Next up is Evoland. This is a beautiful love letter to the history of gaming in the form of an RPG. It starts out in monochrome color with pixelated graphics. As you progress through the game, it evolves to add colors, better graphics, sounds and music, eventually ending up as a 3D adventure RPG. Pretty cool idea and concept. It also happens to be solidly executed. If you enjoy it but find the story to be a bit short, don't worry, there's a sequel available, Evoland 2. Number 3 is Exiled Kingdoms. Okay, let's get this out of the way. This game is not pretty to look at. It pays homage to the RPG games of the old days, and it goes all in. Antiquated graphics and silly animations included. However, if you are capable of getting past that, you will find yourself playing a deep RPG game with tons of build options, a huge world to explore, and a story that's engaging enough to keep nudging you to play. The soundtrack also helps to suck you in that classic RPG feel. It's not entirely free. About the time you're level 7, you'll find that you need to pay to unlock the full game, but at that point, you should already have your mind set on whether or not you want to spend $4 on this game. Next we have Evertale, a hero/monster collector with some Pokemon vibes. This is an adventure with a pretty Japanese animation style. You've got tons of characters to collect and builds to make, as well as an interesting story to make your way through. The battles are in typical turn-based tactical RPG style. The game does have some online elements like guilds and PvP, but you can just play offline whenever you need to. Number 5 comes Battle Chasers Nightwar. This game is a bit on the pricey side, but as soon as you open it, you'll see why. It's a gorgeous JRPG styled game set in a fantasy world, which comes alive with beautiful graphics, smooth animations and a great soundtrack. At its core, it's a turn-based team battle game with some minor tweaks and twists to the combat system. Of course, when you're not fighting, you're exploring the world, making your way from point A to point B while picking up secrets, quests and combat experience along the way. The story is not very deep though, it does deliver a few interesting moments by the time the credits roll. Still, this game's true shining feature is the combat, so if you're looking for that turn-based JRPG tactical experience, do check Battle Chasers out. Next is a game called Way of Retribution Awakening, and this is a pretty serious Souls-like game for Android. You've got some very deep character customization options, from appearance to character class to individual skills, and a pretty unforgiving combat experience ahead of you. Every enemy is deadly and you need to stay on your toes at all times, utilizing blocks, dodges and special skills in order to survive. It looks like the title is still in development, as it does feel a bit rough around the edges. It still doesn't support an external controller, but a grayed out option in the settings menu suggests we will get that soon. Next comes Titan Quest. This is a PC game hailing back from 2006. It has been remastered and remade so you can enjoy this straight out of your mobile phone. Titan Quest is its own thing, but it does hail from an era when Diablo 2 was still pretty fresh in RPG fans, so you'll definitely be getting some Diablo vibes from it. The game is humongous and you will definitely sink quite a bit of time in it. If the aging graphics don't bother you too much, it's a fair investment for any action RPG fan. Another RPG worth playing is Oceanhorn. This is an adventure RPG with some very heavy Zelda influences. It's set in a vast fantasy world and takes you through a story which won't wow you with something groundbreaking, but at least it's charming. The focus here, as with Zelda games, is on exploration. Leave no stone unturned. If that's the kind of game you're into, give Oceanhorn a try. Android users can test the free demo before committing to a purchase. This is, of course, the predecessor of Oceanhorn 2, one of Apple Arcade's flagship exclusive games. Next, a classic, Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. Another game that hails from the old era of PC RPGs. Namely, this one was originally a 1991 release, so yeah, it says remastered in the title, but don't expect true shining beauty once you open it up. But if you care more about gameplay depth and hardcore ARPG experience, this shouldn't bother you. And Planescape Torment is still royalty when it comes to ARPG. To top it off, it's set within the universe of Dungeons & Dragons and carries a hefty chunk of story to go through. The mobile remaster holds up well and the controls don't feel too clunky. Another cool game we recommend is Forged Fantasy. Part hero collector RPG, part farmer, part PvP action game. Fantasy, you can collect and level up your heroes all you want in offline, then take them online for some PvP action. It even has an auto play switch, so you can set your phone on your desk and still level up while actually doing work. Next we have Pocket Rogues. This is a top-down action RPG in a very retro style. It has heavy roguelike elements with permadeath, procedurally generated levels, and a leveling up system which allows you to dive back in the dungeons slightly more powerful than last time. There are tons of classes and items to experiment with, and it will take you quite a while before you can beat this one. Another RPG worth your time is Postknight. Postknight is a pretty simplistic game capable of scratching that RPG itch when you don't have much time to commit to something more complex. Basically, you're delivering letters and packages between villages. Each level represents the road from point A and point B. And since this isn't a Kojima game, you actually battle a bunch of foes before you can reach your destination. Well, battle is used loosely here. Your character bumps into the enemies until somebody dies. Of course, you have some hero skills to help you out, as well as a leveling system and different inventory items to make your postman tougher. And last but not least comes a game called A Girl Adrift. Another simple RPG. The world has been flooded and humanity is only comprised of survivors living on small remote islands. Your character survives by living on a raft and fishing for tons and tons of, well, fish. Just so happens that every little human settlement needs you to go and fish something for them. The gameplay itself is simply tap-based. Tap to drop the fishing pole, rapidly tap to battle with the fish once you've caught one, and this is the game. And this is also our selection of the best offline RPGs for iPhone and Android that we recommend you check out in 2020. Which are your favorites? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, my name is Vic, this is PhoneArena. Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more awesome videos, and I will talk to you in the next one.